A blissful noon to each and everyone. My name is Christine and I will be the first reporter for Group B3. Today, our topic is all about fracture. But before we exchange views on fracture, let me give you a little bit of discussion about the skeletal system. First and foremost, allow me to read the learning objectives for this lesson. By the end of this topic, we will be able to explain what is skeletal system, identify the subdivisions of the skeleton as axial or appendicular, know the functions of the skeletal system, and name the four main classifications of the bones. So guys, when we hear the word skeletal system, it directly comes into our mind that it is related to our bones, our cartilages, and joints, and it is the internal framework of the body, which is correct, right? So, the skeletal system is the internal frame of the body and include bones, cartilages, and joints. Bone tissue or osseous tissue is a hard, dense connective tissue that forms most of the adult skeleton. The bones of the skeleton are parts of the skeletal system. So the word skeleton comes from the Greek word skeletos, which means dried up body. So let me ask you a question, guys. What do you think will happen if we don't have bones? We all know that bones are very important in our body because without bones to make up our internal framework, we will be unable to move. Our body would be like jelly. There will be no structure or shape to the body, and our internal organs will not be protected. We will lack on blood and be short on calcium. So what is a bone? Bone is one of the hardest materials in the body, and although relatively light in weight, it has a remarkable ability to resist tension and other forces acting on it. Nature has given us an extremely strong and exceptionally simple supporting systems that also allows mobility. So guys, ang atong nga bones amo man sa ang allow sa aton to move. So we have the calcium salts deposited in the matrix give bone its hardness to resist compression. Ang calcium salt guys, which is deposited sa aton nga matrix, amo na sa ang gahatag sang aton bones sang hardness para makaresist sa compression. We have the organic parts, especially the collagen fibers, which provide for bones flexibility and great tensile, which is the ability to be stretched without breaking. So, ang aton nga organic parts guys, especially ang collagen fibers, amo na sa ang provide sa aton bones sang flexibility ka great tensile strength, which is the ability to be stretched without breaking. And the skeleton guys is divided into two parts. We have the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. So for the axial skeleton, these are the bones that form the longitudinal axis of the body. While the appendicular skeleton, these are the bones of the limbs and girdles that attach them to the axial skeleton. Now, let us examine how bones contribute to the overall body homeostasis. Let us now proceed to the functions of the bones. So the bones, guys, have a lot of functions. And the first function of the bone is for support. So the bones, the steel girdles, and concrete of the body forms the internal framework that supports the body and cradles its soft organs. The bones of the legs act as pillars to support our body trunk when we stand, and the rib cage support the thoracic wall. So ang aton kuno guys ng mga bones ang aton nga limbs amo na sa ang gaak as pillars para mag-support ang aton nga body trunk when we stand. While ang aton naman nga rib cage guys amo na sa ang ga-protect sa ang aton nga thoracic wall. The second function of our bones is for protection. Bones protect its soft organs. So again guys, ang aton nga bones amo man sa ang ga-protect sang aton nga mga soft body organs. Ang third function of the bone is to allow movement. Skeletal muscles attached to the bone by tendon use the bone as levers to move the body and its parts. So ang aton nga skeletal muscles guys, gina-use yan ang aton nga bones as levers para maka-move kita. Kag ang fourth function of the bone is for storage. Fat is stored in the internal bone marrow cavities of bones. Bones itself is the storehouse for minerals. And these minerals are the calcium and phosphorus. So ang aton nga bones guys, the bones itself is a storehouse sang minerals. And these minerals are the calcium and phosphorus. Another function of the bone is for blood cell formation. Blood cell formation of hematopoiesis occurs within marrow cavities of a certain bone. So another function sang aton nga bone guys is for blood cell formation. Blood cell formation of hematopoiesis nga ga-occur sang aton nga marrow cavities within a certain bone. So guys, before we proceed to the classification of the bones, who among you here knows how many bones the adult skeleton is composed of? So I assume that most of us here already know how many bones the adult skeleton is composed of because our teacher have already discussed about this. So the adult skeleton is composed of 206 bones. There are two types of osseous or bone. We have the compact bone and the spongy bone. So for the compact bone, it is dense, looks smooth and homogeneous. So when we say homogeneous, it means similar or alike. While ang spongy bone has a spiky and open appearance. From the word spongy, it looks like a sponge and it is spiky. So our bones are classified according to shape into four groups. We have the long bones, the short bones, the flat bones, and the irregular bones. So for the long bones, these bones are typically longer than they are wide. So all the bones of the limbs except for the patella or kneecap, the wrist bone, and the ankle bone, they are all long bones. One of the best example for long bone is our humerus. The next one is short bones, generally cube-shaped and contain mostly spongy bone with an outer layer of a compact bone. So the bones of the wrist, the ankle, and the patella are short bones. So diri na guys nabilong ang aton nga wrist bone, ang aton nga patella, kag, ankle bone sa short bones. So the third one is the flat bones. Flat bones are thin, flattened, and usually curved. Most bone of the skull, the ribs, and sternum are flat bones. So there guys, sa flat bones naman, ang mostly kuno bones ang aton nga skull, ang aton nga ribs, kag sternum, they are flat bones. So the last one is the irregular bones. The irregular bones are the bones that do not fit one of the preceding categories which I have mentioned earlier. So, ang aton nga vertebrae guys, which make up our spinal column, this is an example of irregular bone. So, that's it guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have learned something about today's report. God bless and have a good day. Bye!